What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. In this quick video, I'm going to talk about the Bitcoin power law. I'm going to explain it. I'm going to tell you how it shapes Bitcoin's long-term growth potential. The extreme volatility of Bitcoin can be overwhelming, and even experienced traders sometimes struggle to separate noise from real trends. But what if there was a pattern beneath the chaos? The Bitcoin power law is a model that suggests there is a structure to the main cryptocurrency's long-term growth. Instead of viewing the market as unpredictable, this approach shows how Bitcoin may follow a consistent and measurable path that can be mapped, analyzed, and even used to make smarter investment decisions. The Bitcoin power law model shows that Bitcoin price growth follows a consistent exponential trend over time. Historical data shows consistent alignment with the power law curve, especially during major market cycles. As with any model, it has its limitations and should be used alongside other analysis methods for better decision making. A power law describes a specific kind of relationship between two quantities. In this relationship, one quantity varies as a power of another. Mathematically, it looks like this: y equals ax to the k power. When we look at what makes the power law different from more common patterns like bell curves or averages, there is no typical value. Most people or events fall on the smaller end, while a few outliers dominate the upper range. Power laws also tend to look like straight lines when plotted on a logarithmic scale. This is one of the easiest ways to spot them in data. If you've ever seen a graph where Bitcoin's price follows a straight upward curve on a log chart, that's a power law behavior in action. This is what a power law looks like. Power laws are ubiquitous in nature and in human societies. They appear, for example, in the wealth distribution, where a small number of individuals possess a disproportionate amount of resources, and in natural phenomena such as earthquake magnitudes or world frequencies and language. What is the Bitcoin power law? The Bitcoin power law is a theoretical model that applies the mathematical principle to Bitcoin's price. It suggests that Bitcoin's price growth over time follows a predictable exponential path when plotted on a logarithmic scale. When I talk about some of my other videos, I talk about how every 4 years, or every halving cycle, it goes up a log. So it goes up from 1, goes up a log to 10, another log is 100, another log is 1,000, etc., etc. We are in the space now where Bitcoin was $60,000 before the halving. Based on the math, if it halves, which it has, and it goes up a log, it'll be at $600,000, not financial advice. We can see other forecast models to represent Bitcoin. The stock to flow model goes up a log every 4 years. Logarithmic regression chart goes up a log every 4 years. We talk about volatility. This is not a volatile looking chart. That is healthy. It has stayed pretty much within the resistance and support levels for the entirety of its existence. Power law models, as we can see, it goes up in a straight line on a log scale. When we look at the power law in the universe, we can see that it applies to pretty much everything. When we look at biological systems, we can see that a mouse is smaller than an elephant, and obviously you can see that on the power law, which represents the body mass and metabolic rate. When we look at planets, we can see that the same power law applies. Across all these planets, they function on a power law. When we look at Bitcoin, the support and resistance levels, we can see that it's functioned within the power law. If you're worried about the price today, all you need to go to is a Bitcoin fair price calculator. It'll show that currently it's 4% undervalued. If it's at $47,000, maybe you want to be a little concerned. But long term, it doesn't matter as long as it supports and functions on these parameters. It's going up a log every 4 years. When we look at how this applies to your financial matters and how we just make sure that you make money in the future. You want your money to grow for you. You want your money to prosper. You want to prosper. You want to travel. You want to buy stuff. You want to send your kids to college, etc., etc. Money is expensive. Right now, we're printing money out of thin air, $465 million a day. So let's just say hypothetically, I'm 32. I want to retire before I'm 50. I'm going to, I expect to live till I'm 86. Who knows? We can bump it up to 94, 95. If you put in a modest $10,000 today and buy $10,000 a year of Bitcoin every year, you will be able to retire at the age of 47 with 0.561 Bitcoin and have $50,000 a year covered in annual expenses, with a long-term capital gains tax of 20% and an expected inflation rate of 3%. Who knows what the future is going to hold? All I'm saying is get to a certain threshold of Bitcoin that fits your lifestyle and hold it for 10 or 20 years. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it. Put it in cold storage and have fun and enjoy your life. By the time you're in your last days, you'll have $875 million to pass on to your family, your kids, your grandkids, your philanthropy, whatever you want to do. So again, my name is Zach Bowman. We talked quickly about the power law today and why it applies to just everything in nature and how it applies to Bitcoin. We can see that this chart functions on a log scale. If anyone is confused about power laws, feel free to reach out to me. There's a lot of information on the internet right now about it. I hope you have a great day and continue stacking sats.